Hey everybody, here we are. We're at the Arcane Wonders booth here at Origins, and I am here with Scott Tox Morris, and we are also doing a little group film here with David from the tip. Now we're going to talk a little bit about Mage Wars because you guys have gone through an awful lot of changes, and you know, even me, a Mage Wars fan, I'm a little bit confused on what exactly is Mage Wars Arena, what is Mage Wars Battlegrounds, and of course then we have Mage Wars Academy.
Sure.
Scott,
so let's talk about all the ways that you can now defeat Carmen, your wonderful, lovely wife who let you come here to do this video, right? Okay. So what we did, as you know Mage Wars proper, it is now Mage Wars Arena. It's the same thing, the same game, same cards, same rules. We just changed the box size and added the arena tag to it because we knew we were making Mage Wars Academy, which is a separate game inside the universe of Mage Wars. They're two totally different games, but they use the same cards, same terminology, same iconography. The idea is very different. While Mage Wars Arena takes place over a 12-zone board and it's a grand battle of strategic scale, Academy takes place on a very small scale area with no board whatsoever. So when I play in Academy, I still have my spellbook, I still have to design my spellbook, and I still get the options of choosing what I want to play on my turn, so it focuses on strategic choices. But I only play cards in front of me, my opponent plays cards in front of them, and then we tap each other's cards to attack each other, and still trying to defeat your opponent by getting their life to 0.
So would you say then that the Academy would almost be the introductory version into Mage Wars?
Exactly the idea.
Okay.
So it's an introductory product, it's a $29.99 price point. We're going to be pre-releasing at Gen Con, and then we're going to be releasing fully on the street a little bit after Gen Con. The goal is that for existing players who love Mage Wars, all of the Academy cards are forwards compatible into Arena. So if I love Mage Wars and I want more spells, then Academy is right up my alley and I can get that. Also, if I'm a player who loves Mage Wars like you and Carmen, and maybe I've had a challenge getting other people to look at the game because it's so big and maybe is a little bit intimidating at first, Academy is going to be a great way to get them introduced to the gameplay style. Now you may say to yourself, what happens if I just want to play Academy and I never want to move into Arena? That's totally cool. Academy is going to be its own line of games inside of the Mage Wars universe. You're going to be able to buy expansion packs for it, but just like an introductory core set for Academy is going to have a lower barrier to entry, the new expansions for Academy are going to be a lower barrier as well. If you're familiar with data packs from Netrunner, we're going to have that style of expansion where you get a mage, you get additional cards, and it's for a lower, like $15, $16 price point to be able to get additional cards for your universe.
So fantastic. Yeah. So we can guarantee that we still, no matter what, are going to get our favorite mages to play with.
Yes, and maybe even different mages as well. That's some of the things that's nice about Academy. It opens up a whole new realm. You could see other mages in Academy that you haven't yet seen in Arena. So there could be some enticing things there from both sides of the spectrum, whether you're a new player or whether you're an existing player.
Awesome. Now we got one other down here, and that would be the Domination Battlegrounds?
Yep, Battlegrounds Domination. So if you're familiar with Mage Wars and Mage Wars Arena as we're calling it now, all of our expansions have included 2 new mages and then additional cards. Battlegrounds is a new style of expansion for Arena that is going to introduce new rules and focus on gameplay rather than mages. So inside of Battlegrounds, the first one, Domination, you're going to get puzzle cut tiles. They're 8x8, same size as the zones that are on the board today. You get 20 of them, and you can make the arena into whatever design you want.
Did you say 20 tiles?
20 tiles is in this box.
Holy moly.
Awesome. So you're going to be able to make something like this. That's an H style. There's a plus style on the board over there. You can make an asymmetrical style if you want to make an asymmetrical style. You can make a corridor. You can make an L, a T, anything you want to make. One of the things that I personally like to do is make a small 4-zone board and play like a 20-30 minute game. It's phenomenal.
Now something I'm noticing is we've got some different little backgrounds here. Now does this matter what type of tile that you put into play?
Yes, it does. So there's advanced rules. You'll notice there's little icons on these. Some of them have these in the corner. As most gamers know, don't stand in the fire, right?
Yeah, that's fire bad, fire hot.
There's all different types of things that could benefit some mages and hurt other mages that you could use as an advanced style of gameplay. The idea, though, is that this introduces a whole new way to play the game. So today in Mage Wars, I have a spellbook, you have a spellbook, and I'm trying to defeat you by getting your life to 0. With Domination, you have these characters that are NPCs, so to speak, non-player characters, and there are orb Guardians. You'll see we have this Vitar orb off. If I wanted to come in here with my mage and attack this orb guardian, first thing to know is that at the end of the turn, they get a guard marker. So if I melee attack them, they're gonna hit me back. They're not just cute, cuddly guard dogs. They're mean and they're trying to protect their orbs. But let's say I kill them and I finish them off, then the orb turns on. If at the end of the turn, I'm the only person with a friendly creature in this zone, then I gain control of that orb and I get 1 Vitar point. And depending on the size of the map, you'll need different amounts of Vitar to win. So very much like video game domination and controlling points, that's what this does, and it brings it into the world of Mage Wars.
So I could win by victory points or even still annihilate my opponent?
You could still annihilate me if you want. In fact,
But now I have the option of trying, if it looks like my opponent is out monstering me, now I've got the chance of maybe now victory pointing them.
exactly.
I like that. That's
it
fantastic.
also gives you a reason to kind of shake up your spellbooks. I have a spellbook, for example, that uses a warrior, and it only uses 1 creature. So I have a warlord, Bloodwave warlord, 1 creature, and it's like massive power, just beat people down. Well, if you remember, I said you have to have a friendly creature in the zone to be able to gain control and get the orb and get the Vitar.
Yep.
If I only have 1 creature, and I only have my other mage, which is my other creature, and there's like 3 or 4 orbs on the board, I'm never going to control all of them.
Right.
So I've got to change my spellbook and shift up my ideas and my designs. So it gives players that are experienced, that have been familiar with the spellbook, a whole new reason to shake that up and change gameplay up. These are going to be probably about 1 expansion every year. The next ones that we're talking about working on right now, and none of this is guaranteed, but it's just what's in development, what we're working on. We're working on the potential of a cooperative dungeon crawl, where you create a dungeon space.
Whoa, now wait a minute, is this still in the Mage Wars universe?
Still in the Mage Wars universe.
Oh,
yes.
yes.
Same cards, same spellbooks, whole 9 yards. And then we're talking about capture the flag and things like that. So lots of really fun and exciting ways to shake up how to play Mage Wars.
One last question here. Okay,
The
now
answer is 42.
we've got our Battlegrounds Domination, we've got our core set, we've got our Academy.
Yep.
All 3 are still compatible.
Yes, in a way. It's best to say it this way. Academy is forwards compatible into Arena, but Arena is not backwards compatible into Academy.
That makes total sense.
Thank you.
Because the Academy is the basic,
Yep.
and you don't necessarily want to take the complicated cards from here and put it into the Academy.
I always tell people, think of it this way. If you're familiar with Mage Wars and you have a Thunderbolt spell, you don't want to cast that in a small little tiny space.
And now we've got, so for the hardcore gamers, you definitely want to stick with this.
Yes.
But this is by itself. It's a game all by itself, and it
Yes.
has everything you need to be able to enjoy the Mage Wars experience, but kind of beefed it up a little bit and changed things up
Yes.
some.
Now this doesn't come with mages or spellbooks.
Okay.
It just comes with spells and the tiles.
So you still would probably want that
Still
to
would
try to
wanna have
combine.
that to go with it. But this is
Awesome.
going to offer competitive players who may be like tournament players
Mm-hmm.
a more optional way, a more casual way to play Mage Wars. And again, like I said, you can make this as big or small as you want. With the 20 tiles, you can make a gigantic board
I
for
love
like
that.
2v2, and it's a blast.
Well, I tell you what, you know I'm a Mage Wars fan.
I heard.
I
Yeah.
love Mage Wars. I was totally confused on what, we got our arena, we got our battlegrounds, we got our academy. How does this all fit together?
Yeah.
You've answered all my questions, and I hope that it's answered all of your questions as well. And
do
Scott, as usual, I love you and I appreciate your time, brother.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Anytime.